And having multi-variation listing allows you to sell regularly, sell often, sell every day, and have even multi-sale days and regular. All you need is that support. All you need is support. It's so easy, don't depend on them, don't wait for them, don't let them tell you what you got. Here we are today of me showing you how I'm developing, how I'm scaling, and how I'm growing my business behind the scene, from having no skewing system and having a lot of my items mixed with listed items, unlisted items, reserve stock rather than a death pile. And I've been consistently giving you updates and showing you behind the scene of the progression I'm making, how I'm going forward with the tasks, goals, workflow and organization, scheduling of my work and tasks and goals, and how that allows me to then be able to scale, grow, develop and build good habits like workflow, work process, work structure, and have a infrastructure of a manual, a guideline, a instruction book, aka I am designing and currently in the process of the rules, tasks, principles of the roles of jobs and tasks that I do and needs to be done, and would be then be able to be taught step by step the process of how to do each and every one of the jobs I do in my business as a reseller. And that means like a traditional shop, traditional business that has stock, they have a skewing system, they are very organized, they know where everything is for when it sells, to packaging it, to getting it delivered. So I'm constantly doing that, and I'm going to now show you the other aspects of my stockroom inventory system that's currently not being skewed, but I'm in the process of getting my stock skewed. And here we are in my second storage system that is currently not been skewed, and yes, it's the same problem I have. I've got unlisted, listed, mixture of unlisted and listed, listed, unlisted, listed, unlisted, mixture of listed and unlisted, totally unlisted. So the program is to get all of these containers to be skewed, and the skewing system I'm going to be using is by the categories I am in. So for example, you can see in this one is all puzzles, books, DVDs. We got here a mixture of books, no, we got a mixture of toys and puzzles and games and plushes in that one. This one has got books. These are action figures and all action figures. This is the action figure tub, and then we got here the cars tub and vehicles tub. So they're going to be skewed. If it's a book, it will be book 1, book 2, book 3. If it's a toy, it will be toy 1, T1, T2, T3, and so on and so on. DVDs, it'll be DVDs 1, DVD, so on and so on. These are all footwear. I'm still figuring where to put that, or I've got a container that I need to swap what's in the content into the container so it can be out here. I've got blue totes, and this is part of the progression and growth of my business as I'm trying to develop and scale and grow and have a much better infrastructure and system, which I've been developing as time goes on, especially in this year, because my business has been rapidly growing. So I need to have that in place, so then I'll be able to do more sourcing, more listing, because that's where we make our money and that's where it counts. The sourcing quality, listing quality, sales and shipping. So I am currently in the process of getting my skewing system as part of my infrastructure, and also the fundamentals of my infrastructure, so then I'll be able to then teach anyone to have such or similar infrastructure, and also so that when I introduce a staff member, they will be able to follow the task and do the task, and also understand the task and the reasons behind the task. I am outside and we got planes going on and all sorts, but I'm out here in my outdoor stock room, and as you can see, they are all waterproofed with the cover to stop any water getting in them. No water issues. And I'm gonna continue and go all the way here and have that system and have them out here, so then when it sells, I know where they are, I can get them, and I'll be efficient, so I can have more time for sourcing, more time for listing, and more time for videos and the behind the scenes of how I run my business. So I'm going to show you all and the rest of my inventory and stock system currently that I have. And here we are at the clothing. So this is where I got some plushes and some clothing, plushes, clothing. This is another inventory. This is another part of my stock and part of my stock system that needs sorting, that currently does not have a skewing system. So for example, with this one, I would ideally love to just have clothing here, all the hangables such as shirts, t-shirts, jackets to be there, and at the top I should have nothing but jeans or shorts, and then at the bottom I'll have plushes, and keep it tidy with the bag for lives to keep them separated. So then I'll just take the bags out and then I'll be able to know what item is in there. So this would be clothing number 1, because this was the first place I had my inventory for clothing. So this would be clothing number 1. So this would be C1, and then I'll show you the other part. This part might be familiar to you if you're a regular viewer of our channel. This is where I take my photos. This is my photo booth for clothing, and also it does work as a 2-part as my system. So not only is it a clothing photo booth, it's also where I have my stock behind. So I will show you that next. So we've moved the photo booth out of the way, and then I've moved it over to the side, and as you can see, I have stock over here. At the bottom, they're books, they are listed. These are listed books and DVDs, and some unlisted stuff, which is a regular theme. This is a personal keeper, more books, and then behind the veil we have stock. So I have more containers here where I've got DVDs and games, clothing, toys, and bigger toys that some of them are listed and also unlisted. And then that one there is my partner's stock and inventory, which is sometimes shared with mine. I've got my clothing here as well. On the second tub, it's got clothing, and at the bottom tub is a mixture of clothing, bags, listed and unlisted items. And then I've got my toys from the bottom going up. It's all toys in tubs. So the clothing will be C2, these would be C2, C3, and so on with the clothing inventory system. And in tubs, the toys are pretty much there, but they don't have T1, T2, T3 all the way for the toys. Over here we have more containers that are all full of toys as well. So that would be these would be toy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way up with toys. And then the books, there'll be B1, B2, B3, and so on, so forth for the books. And currently I don't have, or I do have a kind of a skewing system. It does kind of work, but sometimes I do have, and I do spend a lot of time looking for the stock, because I have to use my experience, my memory, when I bought it, when I listed it, where I put it away, if I can remember it. And that is hard work as my stock is getting bigger. I've got currently 633 items listed on eBay that are live. I would like to get that to 1,000. There's 633 listing, 333 quantity, 514 actual listings, because I have multi-variation listings. And having multi-variation listing allows you to sell regularly, sell often, sell every day, and have even multi-sale days and regular multi-day sales, familiar, currently, regularly, often, multi-sales day, with the multi-listing options, variation. That's also why the numbers of listing I have is 514, and it's been going down from, I got it up as high as 535, and we're back down. Struggling to keep it in there because now my stock is rotating really fast, they're turning over really fast, and I keep a average of 25 listings a week, 5 listings a day, sometimes more, sometimes less, but I average about 25 listings a week. And I'm able to do that by the way I list and sort out my items. As you can see, I'm showing you behind the scenes of my stockroom inventory system. Currently no skewing system, but we're getting there. And then I've got stock up there, I've got stock up there, and I've got my cabinet that I've got stock in. As you can see, I've got trainers, that's my partner's trainers. I've got some Amazon stuff, Amazon books. I've got equipment that's required. I've got puzzles. I've got boxes for cards and games and smaller bits. I've got books down here. I've got some electronic stuff down there. I've got some books down there. I've got some returns. That's where I put my returns. And then once a month I'll sort out the returns, but we're falling behind the returns. And then I've got more stock there. I'm sharing stock with my partner, so we do have several different options when it comes to stock. I've pretty much got stock everywhere. I'm trying to live as a family and not take over. This is where I have my stock predominantly in the house, between this area here that I'm showing you. That's where the majority of my stock is. Then under the table, everything is flexible and everything has its dedicated section area where we put our stuff. So that's where the photo area, that's our second photo booth. So this is the second photo booth, and it goes something like this. So then to set it up, it doesn't take long. That's one part. That's the second part. Boom, just like that. The photo booth is ready, and I'll show you how I set it up. And don't forget guys, I am videoing and I've got one hand. So that's the photo booth. So we'll take the photos from here. Got the background, small items go there. And then under the table, that's where predominantly my partner's stock is. And she's on Depop, Vinted, and eBay and Etsy as well. Multi-platform reseller as well. And that's where her stock is, under the table. And it's really quick to put it back. And I'm doing it with one hand to show you how quick and easy we have our setup. That's that. Chair. The chairs are in. Push that back. There you go. That's the chairs. We're in. Quick preview, or it will be an old preview by the time you see this video. That's the car boot haul, getting ready and been set and prepped. And then I've got some more stock here. Got clothing in there, and my partner's got clothing in there, and I'll have to reset up again. And then these are my working stock that I take back and forth with me. So over the last week or two, I've been sorting my stock, from turning them over from like that, they go in there, from there they get listed, from getting listed I put them away, or as you've seen in the previous clips, I'll put them in the warehouse stock room or in the outside stock room. And that's how I managed to run my current eBay, Depop, Vinted and Etsy stores, all operational, working from home in my front room. And as you've seen, I am flexible. I've got a good setup as I've been working, as I've been growing, learning as I go. Got some trainers there ready to go. And yes, I've got my clothing hanging. That's my daughter's section. Got my printer over here. I've got some of my collection and some of the items over here. Got the merch coming soon, the merch. There I am, shooting and showing you behind the scenes how I do my work from home. Thank you, and I will show you the rest.